From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
I did not see innocent kids put on that bus. I saw tortured and people presumed guilty.
Just think about what these 113 plus people are going to feel about the police for the rest of your life.
Community members say police used excessive force over the weekend in San Francisco, coming up what some parents say they will do to hold officers accountable. Amanda?
Plus, Sean, the commander-in-chief not holding back, making a commitment to Ukraine in its long fight against Russia.
I promise you, the United States is doing everything we can to get you what you need.
We are closely following the president's trip overseas this morning. Justin.
And the Powerball jackpot jumps to $875 million. That's because nobody won last night. I'm Justin Andrews. How lucky are you? We'll walk you through it coming up next.
And heading into this weekend, we have a major heat wave sweeping its way into the Bay Area and all of California, calling for an excessive heat warning. I'll break down what that means for us coming up in your First Alert forecast.
And we are officially in that summer traffic pattern. You can see that with the Bay Bridge. Metering lights are on, but it's not too bad heading into the city. Plus, there's some events happening this weekend you're going to want to plan for. I'll have details on how to get around coming up.
But first, we have a lot to get to this morning. It is 6:01. Good morning to you. We are looking at our Salesforce camera looking west. You can see the top of Sutro Tower right there with that fog and marine layer hovering just above the city for us this morning. Temperatures, though, they're coming in hot. They are coming in hot.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to put it. This weekend, we have a major heat wave moving its way into the Bay Area. One of the biggest ones we've had so far this year because 4th of July, yes, it was warm. It was hot, but we're seeing a very similar trend, if not warmer, heading into this weekend. And why is it always the weekend, too? I'm trying to figure this one out as meteorologist. But seriously, though, here in the Bay Area, within the next couple days, we have high pressure ridging its way in, and that's really going to heat us up. If you live near Antioch, Brentwood, Fairfield, all throughout our East Inland Hills, even up for our friends in the North Bay and South Bay, too. Here in San Francisco, it's a little bit of a different setup. We're taking a live look right now at what should be the Golden Gate Bridge. A little bit cooler for us in San Francisco this morning with current temperatures sitting in the low 50s with upper 50s down in the Santa Clara Valley and 60s already off into Concord. Later this afternoon, we are going to warm up into the 90s off in our inland areas, 60s from the coast into the Bay. We have a big change around the corner as high pressure builds its way in from the south. This warms us up, this heats us up, and this is the big reason why the National Weather Service has issued an excessive heat warning heading into our weekend forecast, both Saturday and Sunday for all of our inland areas. Let's take a quick look at some spots already. I mean, San Jose alone, we are warming up into the 90s on Sunday with cooler conditions right around the corner. Notice how that heat wave comes in fast and then it cools down fast too. Once we head just a little bit more north, all the way up into Napa, we're also seeing a similar trend. Upper 90s expected for us just by Saturday. By Sunday, we start cooling down into the low 90s with 80s around the corner. I'm going to have more cities coming up in a bit. For now, Gianna, how are the roads this morning?
You know, just not too bad. In fact, it looks like a lot of people are maybe getting an early start to their weekend. It is Friday Eve after all. But look at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. Metering lights are on, but yeah, it's not a bad backup at all heading into San Francisco. With that said, it's barely 6 o'clock. That'll likely get a little bit busier, but no crashes or incidents right now as you head through there. Golden Gate Bridge, it's foggy here, so visibility could certainly be an issue this morning. Parts of Highway 1 as well along the coast could be an issue as you head through there. Definitely be careful and give yourself some extra space between you and the car in front of you. San Mateo Bridge getting a little crowded as you head westbound over towards 101. That is the commute direction. You're looking at those taillights on the right-hand side of the screen there. 880 looks great. We started off the morning with a lot of delays along the Nimitz Freeway. Everything has dissipated and still moving along pretty nicely. You will see some slightly slower speeds in that Hayward area. Here is a current look at those travel times. Westbound 580, 48 minutes, 205 to 680. Sean.
Gianna, thank you. Dozens of people showed up last night at the San Francisco Police Commission meeting. They're upset at how the police responded to Saturday's Hillbomb skating event in the Mission. Some called it a form of child abuse. Community members argued that officers used too much force and held minors in custody for hours longer than needed. Officers were in riot gear carrying tear gas and batons, breaking up the crowd. SFPD says people were throwing bottles and fireworks at them during the unsanctioned event. Hundreds gathered and ignored orders to disperse. The police chief said their response came after attacks to his officers. But some who attended the event say the police's excessive response caused the crowd to be unruly. One parent says her son was rounded up while he was waiting to get picked up.
They weren't doing anything. I don't understand why they were held without like, okay, here, now it's time to go. Let him go. Why were they kept there for so many hours? I had to go and get him. His wrists were almost bleeding.
Definitely next week I have a detailed report for the public and the commission, which includes body-worn camera footage, which there is a lot of. Everything that I will present to you has been taken from the videos, the body-worn camera videos, the videos that we've seen from members of the public.
Police also point out that one officer was hurt during the incident. SFMTA says they were left with tens of thousands of dollars in damage to Muni vehicles. Other speakers at the meeting, which had around 2 hours of public comment, said police failed to use de-escalation techniques. Some parents now say they plan to file lawsuits against the city. Amanda?
Obviously, a lot more to come of that. Thanks, Sean. We do have some breaking news into our newsroom. The FDA has just approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill in the nation. So the medication is called O-pill and will be sold without a prescription. Drug maker Perrigo has not released pricing details, but shipping is expected to start next year. Once it's on the shelves, there will be no age restriction to buy it. Experts say this easy access to the contraceptive could be very useful for young women who have difficulty with costs and time to obtain a prescription. Our other top stories this morning, critics of Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price are launching a recall attempt. The Chronicle reports organizers have submitted an initial campaign finance filing. Price took office in January, vowing to make progressive reforms. Those include reducing jail sentences and taking a more lenient approach toward defendants under the age of 25. But robberies, they've spiked in Oakland since Price took over. Recall organizers must gather more than 93,000 signatures to get a measure on the ballot. And this morning, TV and movie actors are set to go on strike. Their union said overnight that contract negotiations with Hollywood studios have collapsed. The National Board of SAG-AFTRA plans to hold a final strike vote today at 9 a.m., so just in a couple hours. And picketing could start later in the day. So if so, the actors would join screenwriters who have been on strike since May. The last time that happened was 63 years ago. Well, today, President Biden is in Finland to meet with leaders of 4 Nordic countries. Sweden is now on track to join the NATO alliance, and Finland has been a member since April. This morning, Biden met with the president of Finland, calling the country an important ally and a, quote, incredible asset. On Wednesday, Biden told a crowd in Lithuania that NATO's commitment to help Ukraine fight the Russian invasion will not weaken. Later, he was asked how long Ukraine would have to wait for NATO membership.
I think until the war's over, whether or not he's in NATO now is not relevant as long as he has the commitment.
The G7 group of advanced industrialized countries is making new long-term security guarantees. This includes modern military equipment, training for Ukrainian forces, and intelligence sharing. All right, you got to take a look at this to believe it. A tornado was spotted near Chicago's O'Hare International Airport last night. Look at that. It's huge. Hundreds of flights were disrupted, but there were no immediate reports of injuries. The National Weather Service issued 2 tornado warnings for parts of Chicago. That's a look at your top stories. All right, so the lottery fever, it's on. The Powerball grand prize is growing once again this morning after no winning jackpot tickets were sold for Wednesday's drawing. So the big prize jumps to an estimated $875 million. Justin Andrews, live in Albany this morning. Justin, that 7-Eleven sold a winning ticket in the past. Who says that you can't buy one this morning?
I know, right? And guess what? I bought the tickets just for G. I got about 4 of them here. So, yeah, G, you're going to have to let me know which numbers you want. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, let's talk about today's win because a lot of people are expecting to hopefully take home that $875 million jackpot because it has jumped since yesterday since there were no winners. So, obviously, that chance of winning, though, is still slim to none. But that's not going to stop people from coming to places like 7-Eleven and other convenience stores and gas stations in hopes of taking home that win. All right, so I want to give you an idea of what those winning numbers were from last night. 23, 35, 45, 66, 67, and the Powerball was 20. Again, there were no winners in last night's drawing, which was about $750 million, which would have marked the 6th largest prize in the game's history. While no tickets had all 6 numbers drawn, 2 tickets sold, one in Florida and one in Indiana, matched the first 5 numbers for a $1 million prize. The record for the largest ever Powerball prize jackpot is a little over $2 billion, which was won in California last November. In San Jose, at a gas station, they sold a big winner on Monday night's Powerball drawing. Someone matched all 5 lucky numbers on Monday, but missed that Powerball number of 13 on a lottery ticket sold at the Valero gas station on South De Anza Boulevard. All right, Powerball tickets cost you about $2. I got about 4 of them this morning, so gee, you owe me what? $4, but you're going to owe me a whole lot more when you take home the win. Back over to you, Amanda.